it's unrealistic to compare your 30-year-old self to your 50-year-old self. Because when you're constantly fatigued, on some level, don't you think that you're failing? Hormones are all over the place. After the age of around 35, we start to lose muscle mass, bone density.
All right, good morning everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Maxime Sigouin podcast. Today I'm joined by a very special guest, a dear friend and our head coach, Coach Sarah.
Hi.
Good. Happy to have you here in person in Vancouver.
Yeah, this is our first in-person podcast.
Yeah, well, we have not seen each other in about, a year and a half since the last workshop, I think.
Which is weird because we see each other all the time on Zoom.
Yeah, when I saw you come up the stairs, I was like, oh, it's Sarah. I see you every day, but I haven't seen you in person in a while. I think that's the weird part about working online. Especially
at the beginning when we were seeing each other weekly.
Yeah, so fun fact for the people listening, we used to meet, is it Brown's Social in White Rock?
Yes.
We would have our meetings there for the company when we first started. We'd meet in person, and then everyone moved to different places. So for today's podcast, I want to talk about vitality and the role that whole food plant-based plays in that. We're going to talk about menopause. We're going to talk about lifting weights, especially as you're getting older.
Yeah.
So let's start off with why do you feel that it's important that we use a more holistic approach to coach our members? Because that's something that you're really adamant from the start when I started the company. At first it was very like fitness, get shredded, get a six-pack, but you always put a foot on the ground of like, hey, we need to make sure we keep this holistic and sustainable.
I think it is a result of me growing up in the 80s and 90s with the super low fat diets and the confusion around what to do to nourish yourself properly. And fad diets are a great business model because they prey on people to fail. Yeah. They plan on them failing because they will keep coming back. And when you are at the wit's end of, I want to change the way my body looks, there's a sense of desperation and I'll do anything. And if you tell me to eat nothing but potatoes and apples, I'll do that to lose weight. And it just seems really nefarious. It's so smarmy to me that, you're in a very vulnerable position where you don't like the way you look and you do want to change your body and you're asking for help. So asking for help is like one of the hardest things that you can do is to raise your hand and say, I need help. As adults, we're supposed to know it all, right? So, for the fad diets and the quick fixes out there, I just think it's just really, it doesn't get to the root cause and the real true reasons why. And my approach is not a good business model because I want to teach people how to properly nourish themselves and to be able to course correct and critically think about food and fitness and how to respond to the feedback their bodies are giving them.
Yeah, I think when the fad diets were really popular, like earlier in the years, I think they're starting to be less popular now. Yeah. People are starting to understand to having more of like a hands-on approach, going the slower path, really unveiling what is the actual issue that's causing people to struggle with their weight.
Yeah.
But from a business standpoint, like fad diets are fantastic because you're pitching the idea of it's going to be fast, it's not going to require a lot of effort, and it's going to be just easy to do, right? But it's so interesting when you think of it because it's so much more restrictive than if you were to do it sustainably. So you would think that it would be harder to do. But I think it's easier for most humans to be all out or nothing.
Yeah.
They can't live in that middle zone of, ooh, I'm about to have a date night with my partner and we're going to go to the restaurant. All out would be I'm going to eat whatever I want and go fully off track and maybe wait till next week to get back at it.
Yeah.
And then nothing is just like, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to eat before I get there and I'm just going to drink water when I'm on my date with my partner.
Yeah.
So you'd think it'd be harder to be that restrictive, but people can just like shut off things for 30, 60 days.
Small period of time. It's an instant gratification way of dieting. Like, I want results now. I'll do what it takes. And then it ends. It's like, well, what now?
Yeah.
They don't think ahead of time. There's no long-term plan. There's no after this crazy diet, what is going to happen? The hope is, and I know we've all done this, is that we keep it off because just sheer will.
Yeah.
It's just, we're gonna right knuckle it and we're gonna get it through and we're gonna just keep it off. But it slowly creeps back on because nothing truly was accomplished during that crazy diet or restriction, and then you repeat, rinse and repeat, right? Over and over and over and again. And people are just, I know I was really fed up with it. Mm-hmm. But then there's also, it's a push-pull because people don't want to look the way they want, they're currently looking. They will do anything that it takes. And they don't stop and think critically. Like, let's just put aside the instant gratification and the instant I need this now for like a long-term, it's like poor investing, right? Like it's like day trading versus long-term smart investing of your money. It's really no different.
Yeah, it's like jumping on like the meme coins versus S&P 500 basically.
Sure.
Some people will do great with the meme coins, but a majority of people won't and will lose a ton of money.
Yeah.
No, it's, and also when you go that fast, I think like I've done it and I'm sure you've done it too. You're very much able to shut off certain area of your life. It's like, I won't hang out with friends.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go on date nights for a certain period. I'm just going to stay home on Friday and Saturday nights. And I'm not going to do too much, but there's just so long you can do that until life starts to feel miserable and social life and real life kind of kicks back in. Mm-hmm. But then you didn't learn any lesson of when you go to the restaurant,
exactly.
How do you make the right decision, or how do you control the urge to want to make the wrong decision?
Exactly.
And then just people go all out, mess it up. They wait till the next day, the next Monday, the next month, or whatever to get back at it.
Yeah, and the fad diets and the real, because let's face it, fad diets and quick fixes, it really just comes down to severe caloric restriction.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And like, first of all, I don't know. I remember myself trying to lose weight so desperately for an event, and I being miserable.
Yeah.
I got to my goal weight and I was so miserable and so fatigued. I couldn't work out. I was having a hard time working. There was brain fog. It's like, what? You want to be thin. I wanted to be so thin that I would sacrifice joy, vitality, energy, brain function.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it makes sense in the moment for most people.
And I think as most people have never gotten there before and or multiple times.
Yeah.
Because I had the same experience. I looked in the mirror, I was like, I look fantastic, but I feel like absolute crap.
Yes.
You know when you feel your muscles are depleted and you have no energy and no strength? Like, I feel so skinny, but I have a six-pack. It's such a... So a six-pack is overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a little bit of fat on the body to feel normal.
Normal. And I think we need to normalize a little bit of fat on our bodies.
Yeah.
And make it okay and stop comparing ourselves to other people.
Yeah, I think the comparison changes also by age group, right?
Yes.
Because when we started the company, it was very much like working with like 20 and like early 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
And then I graduated to like 40, 50, and now it's like 50 to 80, I think is kind of like our range that we primarily work with. The desires in the comparison game is very different. Now it's like, my friend can play pickleball for 2 hours and then go hiking for an hour. I want to do that. Yeah. So it's a bit more performance oriented than it is aesthetically oriented. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, which is, it's a slippery slope in itself, but it's at least better. Yeah. In the better category.
Yeah, I feel like we have to pull people back from exercise sometimes because they want to do too much and it's counterproductive versus motivate them to do more. I do more. Actually, it's fairly 50-50. So there's a good blend in our current group that
needs a bit of motivation and butt kicking, and then there's no, you don't need to run 10 miles tomorrow.
Yeah. It's been interesting throughout the years how I've evolved and how I've showed up on camera will bring in different types of people. Yeah. So when I was very like type A, go, 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 we got a lot of type A, go, go, go people. But it's like, okay, whatever lesson I'm learning of like pulling back, that's kind of what we have to teach at that time. Yeah. So going back to using a holistic approach. Yeah. When people hear holistic, they hear like, okay, we're going to work on a bunch of things together. Yeah. What does that mean to you to use a holistic approach?
Well, it's zooming out and not being so micro. It's not like, if you think about our bodies are so interconnected, yet we have like so many different disciplines in medicine, right? There's the brain guy and the kidney guy and but if you zoom out, you can see how all of the different systems blend with each other and influence and will impact. So I think by zooming out, like, of course, if you're not getting enough sleep, that's going to impact your brain. It's going to impact your work. It's going to impact your moods, decision making, and potential workouts. And like, so by zooming out and looking at a bigger picture, it allows us to, for lack of a better term, get to the root cause of what is the issue and creating strategies around that so that the person can learn and practice and show up better for themselves and their families.
Yeah, I think it's a part that people miss. Yeah. Because you've been with me from the start, so we've coached very different types of people. There are people that are very compliant with nutrition, have a hard time with exercise, which that's more rare, to be fair. Usually people struggle more with nutrition and less with exercise. But there's some people that are going great with training and nutrition, but they're stressed out of their mind. Oh yeah. Or don't sleep, which usually those two will go hand in hand. Yeah. So that's kind of where the coaching comes in. It's like, nutrition's good, training's good. How can we improve your sleep? How can we improve your stress management? Where's
your stress at? Because that is going to, again, investment of into your health is like, short term, you can be sleep deprived, but how's that going to affect you long term?
Yeah. Well, increases cravings, you're more tired, you drink more caffeine, potentially less likely to fall asleep early that nighttime. You wake up groggy and it just getting worse and worse. I've been in there a few times, for sure. Especially in the past few months, I've had some moments where I'm like, I need to stop the caffeine, accept that I'm going to be tired all day, and then go to bed early one night.
Yeah, and then how does that play into how you feel about yourself? Because when you're constantly fatigued, on some level, don't you think that you're failing? Like, you're not supposed to feel like this. Yeah. Like innately, you're not supposed to feel like you're dragging your ass all the time. What am I doing wrong? How am I failing myself?
Yeah, and to be fair, it's during those times that, I'm sure I'm not the only one, you start to overthink things. Yeah. You start to lack confidence, then therefore you start to show up differently. Then you make one mistake and it becomes this ginormous thing, which is actually not. It's just, you ate whatever, a vegan donut. Yeah. Cool. We don't have to eat the whole box, so we just ate one. It's not the end of the world.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and then that can spiral into like disordered eating and soothing yourself with food, right? When you don't feel good, we're born to soothe ourselves with food, right? Baby cries, give that kid a bottle, right? Yeah. So there is on some level like a cellular fundamental level that if I feel bad, I'm gonna fuel myself with and it's often not a nice chopped salad. It's generally a vegan donut or your choice of whatever. Yeah. That's
sweet or salty.
There's two camps for sure. Yeah. I'm a sweet camp all day long.
Same here. We went to Turf in Kits. Yeah. And they had a stack of chocolate chip pancakes. It was really good. I posted a photo and everyone was like, is that dessert or breakfast? I was like, that was brunch. Hey, I'm human too. You need some chocolate chip pancakes from time to time.
And I think people were very initially shocked that you and I were very transparent with our own eating habits and missteps, if you want. Neither one of us at the very beginning pretended we were perfect.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. That's not a genuine representation of who I am. Like, I like to eat.
Yeah. And that's the thing. People think that all coaches that say that they're being perfect is the same when I was bodybuilding. You see all those really big muscular guys. A lot of them have eating disorders. Like many of them do. So many of them struggle with binge eating. And I think people are starting to be more genuine now and being more open about sharing that.
Yeah.
But the difference between when I was binge eating, for example, a chocolate chip pancake versus now when I eat chocolate chip pancake, it's a conscious choice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm choosing to eat it. I'm not going to feel bad for it because it's a conscious choice versus I don't feel like I can control myself when I eat it.
Yeah.
It's same action, but very different feeling inside.
It's an awareness and, like you said, a conscious choice, which is so much more freeing.
Yeah.
Because you can fully be present for that chocolate chip pancake and enjoy and have no guilt afterwards or beating yourself up. And I assume that you're, honoring your fullness cues, like, because you know that you can have this anytime you want, and it will be a conscious choice, and there's no need to Last Supper those pancakes, right?
Yeah. You just roll out the restaurant. Yeah, that's a hard one. The fullness cue one, not because I don't want to listen to it, but because I was raised, you finish your plate.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a new rule to be like, I paid for it. It's on my plate. I'm going to finish it. Mm-hmm. So. Well,
that's a part of like the whole holistic kind of approach is, pushing back against and retraining your brain to let go of old ways of eating and old belief systems and toxic beliefs, right? Like, you don't have, you paid for it. It's okay to leave it.
Yeah. Well, I've learned, I've never done this with Ivy. Maybe in the past year I started doing it, having a to-go box when you're done. I was like, I don't understand why you'd bring food home. Like, eat it and we're here. Yes. And Ivy would always have leftovers. At one point, we had like 4 containers because we were on the road.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got all these leftovers, you're not eating them. But it's a new thing to be like, I'm full, I'm good. I don't want to eat more because then I'll feel terrible. Give me a box. That's a new experience.
See, even the coach is learning.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard because you raised a certain way and you pick up from society and culture and family and these weird, if you think about it, it's very strange to like, I have to clean my plate. Like, who said?
Yeah.
Is that serving you?
Yeah. I think it was more of a budget thing when we grew up, right?
Yeah. But it's no longer the case, right?
Yeah.
But you're still practicing that crazy rule.
Yeah. It's crazy how we keep some of those things as we get older.
Yeah, and as we age, we hang on tighter and tighter and tighter to those things, right? You're like, but as coaches, we have to be the mirror and say, okay, I see that you have this. Is it serving you? Is it helping you? Is it causing you distress? Mm-hmm. And then asking, can you let it go? So
I feel like the older we get, the less we take time to question some of the things.
Yeah, it's a given.
And that's why they get tighter and tighter because I've been doing it for so long, therefore it must be even more true than 10 years ago when I was doing it.
It's the devil you know, right?
Yeah. Love to pivot back to vitality and whole food plant-based and like kind of the role that plays within the context of vitality. So, why do we preach whole food plant-based? Why is that so important for people that want to feel good every day?
Well, I don't know, but when you've eaten whole foods, you know how good your body feels, how energized,
not bloated.
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't come with the fatigue, the energy spikes, the bloating, the possible digestive issues. I don't know, it just feels good to eat whole food plant-based majority of the time. We always have to have room for other things, but not only does it feel good to eat this way, but our bodies respond far better. It knows what to do with these foods. It knows how to digest these foods because they're found in nature, and that's what our body was designed to digest and assimilate and utilize, right? So, these hyper palatable foods there's a place for them. There is. They're not by any means healthy, but there's always a small place for them for certain individuals, right? For fun, for transitioning, for convenience sometimes. So But the majority, like, what is it? Like 90-10 rule, 90% of your diet should be whole foods and good, wholesome foods, just because your body knows how to digest them and utilize all the nutrients. And nature is beautiful. Like an apple is like got all the stuff in it. It's like all these great whole foods have fiber, macronutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, and those other great antioxidants. So, like, I don't know, it's the perfect food to eat, and why shouldn't we?
Yeah, I think most people can agree that you do feel much better when you eat it. Mm-hmm. And I think the 90-10%, I think some people, again, take it too literally, mm-hmm. that they think that it has to be on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. It can be on a weekly or a monthly basis.
Yeah.
I think people will try to be like, well, I need to eat something that's more palatable because, you know, I'm allowed to enjoy myself the street. But when you progress a little bit longer, it's like, well, I whole food plant-based 100% today.
Yeah.
I could choose to eat something that's not, usually it's late night snacking that will kind of sneak in. And then the conversation becomes more about, do I want to feel terrible tomorrow? Like, do I want to wake up puffy and bloated?
Yeah.
Nah, whatever. I won't have anything tonight.
Yeah.
Then the decision is more about either like, not about I want or I can't control myself around the food, but like I want to feel good tomorrow, so therefore I'm not going to eat it tonight. Yeah,
it's prioritizing. It's just not worth it. Yeah. But the choice is yours.
I think that's the powerful point when people transition to like it's a choice versus I don't feel like I can control myself, which is I think what most people use as a word.
Yeah, and it's not the food that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's how you approach it.
So obviously you were coaching way before you started working with us. But then you've been coaching with us since like the beginning. Mm-hmm. What have you seen to be some of the mental rules that some people have when it comes to food?
The Clean the Plate Club for sure.
I'm in that one.
Yeah. There's some crazy rules around like eating after 8.
Oh, you like not eating after 8 or 7?
Yep. Yeah. And that it's actually, I can understand why it's a rule, but if it's going to interrupt your sleep, have a snack.
Yeah.
So that's a minor one. There's a tremendous amount of fat phobia. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? There's a tremendous amount, and educating people around essential fatty acids. And I like to use that term because when you say fat, people get this weird look on their face. Yeah. So I use the technical science term, essential fatty acids, because it is essential. We have to have fat in our diet. And in fact, a little bit of fat in our diet is actually very healthy, and it's necessary. Our bodies can't produce these things, so we have to get it from diet. So, you know, from the 80s and 90s low fat phase, right? Where everything, I remember, you know, our cupboards, like my mom, I come from a long line of disordered eating. She would have all these crazy like 0-calorie crackers and 0-calorie cookies. It's just like this nut stuff. Yeah. And it was just
Farms. You heard of that?
Yep.
Yeah. I used to have that when I was bodybuilding. It's just chemicals.
Chemicals. It was just chemicals in a package that kind of resembled food-ish.
Yeah.
It tasted okay, but you know, so really educating people around fat and just being patient with, because a lot of times people associate the fat in their diet with the fat on their body, and it's actually two different things. Yeah. It's not the same, and it's just re-educating. It's just being patient and just saying, no, that's actually not true. Yeah. This is what we need it for, and you know, understand where they're coming from and meet them where they're at, and then also connecting the dots between some of their symptoms. Yeah. So, you know, having no satiation after a meal, or being hungry really quickly after, or, you know, brain fog, hormone fluctuations, right? So connecting the dots. Sleep can be impacted by lack of fat in their diet. So going, well, you know what? If you don't have fat in your diet, it can cause, and then you can list out their symptoms. They're like, okay. And then just slowly, you know, if they're having a hard time with fat in their diet, you can, you know, a vegan omega-3, you know, you can do it in a sneaky way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's dive deeper into that, because I know, been in the vegan space for a long time. I know the comments and what people are going to say about fat. So just to clarify for people, because whenever I see doctors talk about this stuff, they never say numbers, they never say percentages.
Yeah.
So we're not telling people to eat 50, 60% of your calories from fat.
Not at all.
Like I'm just pulling the extreme because I've seen past comments on other videos. So roughly, also before we go into percentages, also for people to understand that you can eat 20-25% of calories from fat roughly.
That's actually the recommendation.
Right, 20-25% calories. If you eat fat, you will not put on fat if you are in a calorie deficit.
Correct.
Yeah.
So there was a study recently, a professor in a university down in the States, I failed to remember it. He wanted to prove to his students that you can lose weight on any diet. So he went on a gas station diet. You hear the study, right?
Yeah.
He was in a caloric deficit. He ate nothing but Twinkies and Diet Coke or whatever. He lost 15 pounds in the duration of the...
Yeah.
So, and those things are those are like highly processed, super bad fat. Like those are not good essential fatty acids.
You will lose weight, but you won't feel good.
Exactly. I'm sure he felt horrible. But the fact is, like, fat in your diet does not equate with fat on your body. How fat gets on your body is being in a caloric excess.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Just a little interruption before we get into today's episode. So as you may know, I run these shows ad-free. Everything is self-funded through our coaching program. So the small little ask that I have for you is to simply subscribe to the YouTube channel to support the work that we do and to follow if you're listening on audio. Also, I want to give you a free gift. I wrote 6 emails that will tell you exactly how to figure out your calorie goal, your protein goal, to help you improve your body composition, along with over 100 exercise videos that I've personally filmed with a little workout program in there and some meal plans to help you get started on your transformation so that you can lose your next 3 to 5 pounds on me within the next few weeks. And you can sign up for that absolutely for free by heading down below in the description and simply entering your name and email so that I can send you all the information and the meal plans and the workouts. So enjoy this free gift and enjoy the rest of the show.
I've done my own test with that. I went plant-based, but it was, I made fit 2 Pop-Tarts every day for a cut. And I went from being, having a pretty thick layer of fat to having a shredded 6-pack.
Yeah.
Eating 2 Pop-Tarts every day, just because that's when I was having a hard time with binge eating.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna eat whatever I want as long as I make it fit within my macros.
Yep.
And I got lean. I was like, well, it goes against everything I've ever been taught.
I know, because what you were taught is wrong.
Yeah, I was like, you can eat anything you want as long as you're in a deficit and hit your protein, your calories. You will lose weight. You'll get leaner.
Yeah.
But you'll feel terrible. Your digestion is going to be terrible. My skin was awful at the time. So it's the principle of calorie deficit or calorie surplus. What determines if you put on fat or lose fat.
Correct. Yeah. And what we're advocating for is healthy, wholesome sources of fat. So nuts, seeds, nut butters, avocados, olives, those types of foods.
I love olives.
I know. How can you go through life not eating a good olive?
Olives with the garlic in it. At Costco.
Yes.
Those are so good.
Yeah. So those are the types of foods, and you really don't need. So if you have a high quality essential fatty acid in your diet, like, can you binge eat olives?
Nah, maybe 10.
I don't think so.
But after 10, I'm like, maybe it's salty, right? It's like really salty, so there's just so much.
There's no need. But to the people who are fearful of including fat in their diets, yes, it's calorically dense. You do have to be mindful of that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But let's not like throw the whole thing away because you have to be mindful. Just be mindful.
Yeah, especially if you get the olives that are in oil versus, those obviously are going to be a lot higher.
Of course.
Yeah, it's, no, I think I've been at 400 plus episodes in, and I think I've said so many times, like, calories and protein are the only 2 things that matter.
Truly.
I had Dr. Neil Barnard on the show, and we talked about this, and he's like, you can't redefine the laws of thermodynamics. I was like, cool, like, we agree on this. Then it's like, the foods you're gonna make fit within those calories, they have to be whole food plant-based primarily, so you get all the health benefits to not feel like crap and reduce the risk of all these diseases. But I think people are, it's so much easier to be extreme. It's so much easier to be like, let's demonize fat, let's demonize carbs, right? Let's go really hard for 60 days and basically starve yourself.
Yeah.
It's so hard to live. We talk in the program like black and white. It's so hard to live in the gray.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you're in this dance of like, I want to go faster and harder, but then like I want to enjoy life and pull back a little bit. And people have such a struggle with that dance of being in the middle.
Yeah.
But that's what sustainability is learning to live in that dance of sometimes you'll have periods where you're doing really great, and sometimes where, you know, family members in the hospital, it's crazy at work, your car breaks down, then it's like, okay, might not be perfect, but it's the best that it can be. But I think people struggle to live there, and then they just go fully the opposite. Like they go fully off track.
It's because there's a very clear path for extreme, right?
Yeah.
There's not a clear path, and there's not, if you don't do it with a coach, right? When we coach people through these situations, it's a lot of reassuring, going, no, it's okay. You did the best you can. And it's like, it's relearning how to eat in the gray, because the path isn't clear. But as coaches know, there's a clear path. We know where we're taking you. It's the member who needs, you know, somebody to walk alongside them and say, no, you're here. You're on the right path. You're doing well. Do not deviate. You're good. But does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
Extreme is like, this is what I do, this is what I don't do, I'm good. And then the gray is like, it's very ambiguous.
Yeah, which humans are very ambiguous. If there's a reason why when we coach people, there's never been, like there's always been touch points with a coach, whether it's our weekly check-ins, the call every 2 months with members, or the private messages or everything, because transformation is not about a set number of calorie and protein. It's not about a workout, because if it was for that, literally go on ChatGPT, follow it, right?
Yeah,
with ChatGPT is what Google was 5 years ago. You can go on Google, get a workout program, get some meal plan.
That's right.
It's, again, you won't know how to make adjustments as you progress with progressive overload and all those things. But if you are not able to stick to a plan and you've tried it in the past and you're struggling, there's an underlying reason why, and that's when coaching comes in. That's why we don't go like, here's your calories and protein, here's the workout, let's never talk again, and do your thing.
Yeah.
That's not coaching.
No, that's not coaching. And that's
just
not
handing you a plan.
That's not success. It's not a good plan forward.
Yeah, because if they could do that, they wouldn't be struggling with that issue at that point. Yeah. And everyone that thinks that they don't need a coach, that's crazy to me. Like I have so many coaches in my life for different areas. I feel like I'm pretty good with fitness. I own a fitness company. I still have a fitness coach. Right? I still have like financial and mentors and things like that, because there's someone that's walked a path ahead of you, and they've made mistakes that you're about to make, and they can prevent you from making those mistakes. Or like you said, you know the path. You'll be able to guide the members. Like if I tell a client on a check-in this certain thing, it could lead them down this path. And if I say a different thing, it could lead them down this path, which is where I actually want to bring them, so that they can get the breakthrough in like 2 months from now. Yeah,
and it's also you're role modeling how to treat them. So I know a lot of times people say, Sarah, you're in my head a lot. So we have to be careful as coaches what we say and how we say it, and because we become a voice in their head, a part of the committee that is in everybody's minds and who talk. So, you know, my hope is that I become like the soft voice, the reassuring voice, the you know, the voice of reason. Like, do you need 4 donuts or can I do with 1?
And if you ate 4, it's okay. Can you focus on winning the next meal, right? Or winning the next workout? Exactly. I think the things that you've seen, like the sayings that we've been saying throughout the year, like they've shifted a lot as we've kind of improved and basically gained more experience as coaching more people. But now we're very picky with what we repeat, because whatever we repeat is what's going to be in our members' head. So we just want the thing that's going to serve them the most to be the thing that they remember. It's like, oh, you ate an extra large pizza. Cool. Win the next meal. Like, you ate it. You can't do anything about it. Was it good? Were you present? Can you learn something from this experience? And that's part of the whole critical thinking and the whole holistic approach, right? It's like we're setting them up. Again, not a great business model, but well, here's the thing about business model. Like we talked about fad diets earlier. Like People will pay for something that's very extreme that a very small percentage of people will get results, and that's what they're going to show to the world. And everyone's going to be like, well, that has to be 90% of the people they work with. Like, no, 90% of people didn't. And there's a reason why a lot of those companies don't no longer exist, because there's no, people are like, well, eventually, like, you can see that it doesn't work. But I think what we're doing is better long-term for our business model and the impact we want to have, because eventually people will be like, well, I've learned a lot of great skills and tools here that I'm able to use outside the program, because I think people think that they'll never put the weight back on even after our program, right? Like, and we can talk about Celine because it's kind of like a nice transition to perimenopause, but like, life happens. You get diagnosed with something, a family member passes away or gets sick, or you're now in a caregiver position, like you lose your job, or you get depressed a little bit, you put on a little bit of weight, like it's gonna happen multiple times in your lifetime. But if you're equipped with the right tools and knowledge, then you're able to bring yourself back to a healthy place. Which is, people think it's going to be like a solution forever. It's like, no, like, you've done it, you've seen that you've done it, you know you can do it, you have the right tools. Now, whenever life does throw you a big curveball, you know how to navigate it better, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about Celine, because your podcast with her would already have come out by the time this episode comes out. So do you want to share a little bit of like her story, like her being in the program, leaving and coming back?
So she came to us, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, and she did very well in the program. She was turning 40, and she wanted to be at a certain weight on her 40th birthday, which is 3 days after mine.
Best bicep genetic ever also.
I know.
Great bicep genetic.
I know. I'm so envious of this bicep, but I'm like, you go, girl. This is awesome. So she really crushed it in the program initially. She left the program, and then, like you said, life happened. She had a baby, and she got diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid issue. And and this is horrible timing, but she started perimenopause. So she inevitably gained some weight back. And I'm so proud of her. She continued to weight lift and work out and do her best. And when she came back into the program just recently, she says, I just need a little bit of accountability, and I just need a little bit more guidance. But she navigated it from a mindset perspective very well. Very well. So
She stayed consistent with her strength training throughout all those years, which is super important.
If anybody does nothing, you do that one. One piece. Yeah,
especially as we get older, that makes such a big difference.
Well, especially for women too.
Yeah. So I think one thing that's important about her story is we helped her learn lessons at a certain point in her life, before she turned 40, so she can get fit. And now that she's dealing with Hashimoto's and perimenopause, there's different lessons to learn. So I think it's smart of her to come back and get guidance to learn these new lessons without having to do a bunch of trial and error and potentially waste years, potentially put some weight back on. Because I think most people would be like, oh no, I'm trying to figure it out by myself with this new scenario. And I have a friend of mine who's in the fitness industry too. He's very blunt with his posts. He said, you've taken so many before photos of you trying to start a program that now you just have a compilation of you getting fatter.
That's so harsh.
he's very harsh, but I was like, that is kind of funny a little bit. But he's very harsh. But it's true. Some people will just like trying to start and not be willing to ask for help. So talking about perimenopause, because we have a lot of members that are kind of going through that. How does the body change? How do you handle nutrition differently? What is important in terms of exercise?
Well, the women's bodies, their hormones are all over the place. We go for several decades with for the most of us, very regular cycles. And then it just kind of gets blown out of the water. Like, it is crazy. And then there is and because our bodies thrive on rhythm, right? And when the rhythm is off, everything is off, right? So that we have to navigate that. And hormones will affect literally every aspect of our lives. Health, mindset, how we feel about ourselves.
Sleep.
sleep, food choices, requirements, right, for our diet. So, and after the age of around 35, like we start to lose muscle mass, bone density. And if you're not actively trying to maintain and build these two tissues, you're in big trouble, because that's basically setting you up for a successful or an unsuccessful, 70, 80 years, later in life. So if you don't do the work in your 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you're behind the 8 ball, really. You're in trouble, you're behind. So, encouraging women to lift weights, depending on their age. Some take to it very reluctantly. Yeah. Because it's not something that they were exposed to. So when I was in high school, like there was no girls in the gym. Yeah. We did a lot of cardio. We were in the cardio section a lot, but there was not a lot of girls in the weight room. And if you're, in your 40s and 50s, that's what, you just get on a treadmill and you go. Yeah. It does not help our bones at all, or our muscle. So really encouraging women who are reluctant to get into the gym to teach them good form and function and how to do it. So it's just being along with our members during this kind of tough time in their life.
So how do you navigate nutrition with them? Because as you were sharing that, it just made me think of, it's more of a younger analogy, but it's kind of like a social media algorithm. The company can just change it on a day-to-day basis. So one day you're posting content and you're like, this is working and my page is growing. And then the next day they change it. You're like, wow, nothing's working, but I'm doing the same thing. Yes. All right. So it's all over the place. Yeah. So how do you navigate nutrition with someone like that? Because people know this, said fitness builds the body, nutrition reveals it. Yeah. So how do you navigate nutrition?
Encourage women to eat as whole foods, plant-based as possible, because their bodies are under a tremendous amount of stress and fluctuation, and we can't add to that. Like when you eat more processed foods, you're adding stress to the body. It's it's another layer of stress.
Inflammation.
There's another, there's more problems that come along with it, right? So there's blood sugar regulation issues, there's digestion, there's gut biome stuff. It's, so if you just eliminate that one issue, which is huge, because how many times of the day do we eat? At least 3. Yeah. It's something we do day in and day out. So encouraging a good balance, a good healthy macro balance that has a really good density of nutrients to just help the body do what it needs to do, just to usher it in a way that is as nice as possible, because the body is like all over the place. And we know, like we just talked about, how do you feel when you eat processed foods? You don't feel good. Well, women already don't feel good. You want to add another don't feel good onto that? Yeah. No. Yeah. So, and it just helps with keeping everything level. The fiber in our foods that we eat on a regular basis will keep our blood sugars from spiking and keep our colon healthy and our gut biome healthy. For me, it's just it's one less stress that I have to deal with when I eat well.
Yeah, so it feels like fitness and eating whole food plant-based is kind of there to stabilize some of the variables on a day-to-day basis versus kind of throwing some wrenches in the mix, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So mentally, so how do you coach some of the women that are going through that phase? Because I can understand that their frustration would be like, Sarah, I'm doing everything right. I'm eating whole food plant-based. I'm sticking to my calories. I'm weight training. My body's still doing all this crazy thing. Yeah. So mentally, how do you help them navigate that?
You have to point out that their body's changing and that it's unrealistic to compare your 30-year-old self to your 50-year-old self. Yeah. It's just mean. It's just mean to do that to yourself. Like, why would you do that? But we do. We do. We all do that. I look at pictures when I was 30. I was like, oh.
I look at how I moved when I was 20. I'm like, oh, my knees are so fresh.
I know. The youth is wasted on the young, right?
Yeah.
So we have to bring them into this, you know, there's a transition, right? Like, let's say goodbye to that younger self and be glad that we got to experience her, and look forward to a new body sometimes. It's not a bad thing. It's just different, and a new way of thinking about yourself. Because when women go through perimenopause, it's kind of the last bit of their life, right? The last third, maybe. Priorities change.
Yeah.
Right? So when we're in our 20s and 30s, it's all about looking good, seeking external validation. It's about finding yourself. When most of us hit menopause, perimenopause, kind of know who we are, kind of solid in ourselves. We've done some stuff, we learned some lessons, and it's time to step into that power. It's like, it's a stepping into of self. And it's really empowering women to do that, and to let go of previous expectations, both in body and mindset.
Yeah. As you're sharing that the body changes and kind of accepting that it's changing.
Yeah.
When we were talking earlier, it made me think of that. I think people would not do as many fad diets or extreme ways if they could just learn, and I think there's a fine line to this, but they could learn to love themselves and how they look without having to be the most shredded, leanest, super muscular version of themselves. Because for someone that has been very big, very lean, I've done all the body types.
Yeah.
All of it, I hated my body the whole way through.
Yeah.
And I think if people hate their bodies, then they're going to do these extreme ways, because like they think that when they get to that weight or to that look on the mirror or whatever, they'll be like, I finally love myself. I'm finally enough. I finally can feel good about myself.
It never happens.
And it took me like 10 plus 15, almost 10, 15 years to get to the place where I'm like, I'm happy with how I look. Like, I don't need to be more jacked. I don't need to be more ripped. I don't need to be anything else. I'm happy with how I look. I wake up, I feel good every day. That really changed my relationship with food.
Yeah.
Because then food was about fuel, but also pleasure.
Yep.
And I gained a greater enjoyment in life. And I think people miss out on all of that, where they're like, I look miserable and I won't feel happy until I look a certain way.
Yeah, it's when I get that job, when I get that car, when I get that house, it's no different. When I lose that 10 pounds, I'll be happy. Says who?
Yeah.
Really?
No, you won't.
You won't. I remember trying to lose weight, and I was in a 2-piece bikini in Hawaii, and I was miserable because I was so hungry.
Yeah.
But I had the body.
Yeah.
I am much happier now, 20 pounds heavier than I was then. And the relationship with food, because it was constant chatter in my head of, how many calories is that? How many calories do I get to eat? Oh my God, it's only 500, so I'm not. And I always think about you and your Nutella, sniffing the jar of Nutella. I was like, oh yeah, I've been there. I've done that. Or you chew and you spit it out. That's a really bad habit. But those are stuff that we do to facilitate a overly thin body.
Yeah.
It's just not natural.
Yeah. And for the people that don't know that story, when I was bodybuilding, I was very, very lean. I was on to like 4% body fat, and I couldn't obviously eat anything that was not on my plan. So I wake up in the middle of the night to like open a jar of Nutella and just sniff it. And I can almost like taste it. I was like, it tastes so good.
Yeah.
I've definitely chewed like a cookie and like spit it out just so I could have the flavor too. That was like during my bodybuilding prep, which I'll never do again. No, and I don't know for you, but do you ever look back at old photos of you? Like there was old photos of me where I remember feeling fat.
Me
and
too.
I'm like, damn, I look so jacked. I was like, I look so great. But I didn't feel like I looked great. I felt like I was like chubby and puffy, and I was like, no, I look fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's always like looking back. So I think it's a beautiful place for people to get to, and you have to be willing to take that on.
Yeah.
Which is why, I try to tell people, like, the program is not about nutrition and work. It's not about a meal plan. It's not about a workout.
No.
It's about the underlying work that needs to happen to get you to the place where you are able to build a body that's fit and healthy, that'll help you carry you through the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Not that we'll put you on the cover of a magazine, because all of those people,
it's not
sustainable. They don't look like that unless they're injecting themselves with something. And even that's not sustainable. You can't do that for a lifetime.
Well, I've been in my algorithm, I think, for the social media, Hugh Jackman and what's his guy's name?
The Rock?
No, there was another guy.
Batista and The Rock got real small recently.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, the Hugh Jackman, he was talking about when he had to get ripped for Wolverine. And he said, guys, this is for a role. I do not look like this normally.
Yeah.
Do not compare yourself. I hate myself now.
Yeah.
I'm a miserable bastard. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Zac Efron is probably the other one you're thinking of for Baywatch.
Yeah. Because he's like, no, I'm not supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
Do not compare yourself. I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
These guys are saying this stuff now.
Yeah, maybe that's what sells on TV, right? It's like that superhuman look.
Yeah.
But yeah, most people don't live like that. As long as you can like wake up and your joint, depending on your age, your joints don't hurt. You don't have lack of mobility. You have strength to be able to move throughout the day, not worry about getting injured. Like and you have energy because you're eating properly. That's a beautiful life that I would say the majority of Americans don't have.
Yeah.
It's great. It's interesting to see how social media has amplified a lot of unhealthy behavior, a lot of extreme behavior in many different fields, to the point where I can't remember what the stat was. I don't quote me on this, but it was like more than 50% of Americans wouldn't qualify to go to war if ever there was a war.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
That is.
And the people that are in that age group are not even fit enough to
That's
qualify.
concerning.
Yeah.
That's concerning. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I'm glad that we're doing the work that we're doing, even though it's not the sexy lose all this weight in 30, 60 days. I still remember this lady, because we've done a lot of consultation calls before people, right? Throughout the years, probably done thousands of them.
Yeah.
But this lady never made it in the program. But I told her, she said, I have a wedding next month and I need to drop 30 pounds to fit in my dress. I was like, okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to help you get started and, start to lose some weight and feel better and be stronger.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get you to a shape where you are wedding ready and you don't have to get ready every summer.
Yeah.
But she's like, no, I need to lose it 30 days. Like, if not, I'm not going to work with you guys. I was like, fantastic. It was a pleasure doing a call with you. I was
Come back when you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, do what you need to do on your side. We're not going to support that. After that, if you're ready to do it properly, then come to us. She never came back, and I can pretty much bet that she didn't lose 30 pounds in a month for the 100%. Wedding.
And if she did, she gained it all back.
Sure.
And then some, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a crazy amount of weight in a month.
I know, it's so sad that...
And just stay wedding ready versus having to get ready.
Exactly. Yeah, RuPaul says if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Yeah. It's true.
It's true.
It's easier to maintain, because then how much starvation and exercise and cardio do you have to do to try to drop 20, 30 pounds for a wedding?
How does that affect your body long term, right? We know that, like, I don't know, it's subjective, but the people that I've worked with over the years, the ones that have a deeper, richer history with yo-yo dieting have a little harder time initially than those people who don't have the same experience.
Yeah, the body has way more resistance to fat loss if they've been through more cycles of yo-yo dieting. And it's funny because people think it's because they're like, getting older obviously plays a little role in that.
Sure.
But if you are older and you've gone through more cycles of yo-yo dieting than someone that is the same age, but that's maybe done it like once, they're going to lose weight faster because they have way less resistance, because the body's like, nah, there she goes again, trying to starve herself.
Yeah, right? And the body, I feel, hedges its bets. Like, no, she's going to do this for 30 days and then we're going to be back to the same old.
Yeah.
So we're not going to. Why should I?
Yeah, no, it's so much easier to maintain. It's harder to do it sustainably because it's not going as fast as you want it to go. I think that's the biggest challenge for most people is that management of self-expectation. Yeah. Even though we tell them it's not going to happen fast.
I tell them, and people are like, They're taken aback. I was like, I have to be honest with you.
Yeah. We got to do it well. Like, this is why you're here.
Yeah. Do you want to do this once and for all, or do you want to continue the cycle?
Yeah.
It's your choice.
Yeah.
Both will work, but not long term.
Yeah. It's like going to a mechanic and duct taping a bracket.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to fix the bracket, or you continue to duct tape it?
Yeah. Eventually, you have to do it properly.
Yeah. Well, the sad part is that, in weight loss, people will die chasing the quick fix.
Yeah.
And they don't get the relief that you've experienced with food. I don't want to use like easiness, like a relaxed way of eating.
Yeah.
People will go to their grave going, there is one more chance. It's like, no, there's too much to life at that age than worrying about, your weight, calories, fad diets.
Yeah. To me, the most freeing thing was getting rid of that little voice in the back of your head of you shouldn't eat this, you should do this, you should cut here.
Yeah.
And then you go to bed hungry, and it's like such a miserable way to live.
It is.
To be fair, I never thought I would get out of it. And it wasn't through learning more about nutrition. It wasn't through learning more about fitness. It was about doing the internal work over the years to uncover I like myself better. I can, support myself better. Like, doing all that work is what made the difference over time. And that's what coaching is for. Like,
good coaching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I like that we're online, because if we were in person, then it would just be like 1, 2. You're just counting reps, basically. We can't focus on the real issue.
No. And people can count their own reps. And they can measure out their own broccoli. And that's actually a good skill to, hone.
Yeah, that's true. I get a lot of heat from the personal trainers in person. I think there's value to them for someone that's newer or wants to learn form. Sure. I think we found a good way to get around that online. But the real value is uncovering those underlying issues. And we've done, we're over 1,100 transformations now, which is crazy. Like, since you and I met, it's over 1,100 people that we've helped. It's wild.
That makes my heart sing because, as a fat little chubby girl, who needed the help and never got it, to be a part of somebody's journey, even if it's just a stepping stone, is really, it's a legacy.
Yeah. We're changing the trajectory that they're heading in.
Yeah.
All right. We're never anyone's final destination, because that's death, basically, and we don't want anyone to die in the program. But it's a change of trajectory of where they're going to go and how much they're going to be able to enjoy the later years in their life, and with what peace of mind they're going to be able to have. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think it kind of covers everything I want to cover. I think we went more in depth on some of the other things, which is perfect, because I think people are going to enjoy the genuineness of it, because most people are trying to tell you, eat this specific macro split, do this specific workout, do this for 60 days, and all your problems are solved. They'll never be all solved. My original mentor used to say, with new levels comes new devils. Yeah. So you'll conquer the devils that are at this level, and then you'll level up. You'll be in a different position, different level of health and fitness and self-confidence. There's going to be new devils at that point. And you got to overcome this. And then you do that for the rest of your life. That's the journey of self-improvement, basically. Well,
that's life. That's that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Right?
Some people choose to stop at certain levels, which that's fine. That's their choice.
Yep.
It's not who we are.
No.
And it's not who we attract in the program. Everyone's there to get better and improve themselves and support each other. So, it's been beautiful seeing how the company's been shaped and changed and molded throughout all the years. Yeah, it's a dream come true. Yeah, truly. Well, I'm grateful to have you on the team. I'm grateful that you were the first person I brought on board when I started this. Yeah. And now we're gonna go, for the people listening, we're gonna record a cooking video with Sarah, which may or may not be out by the time of this recording. I don't know. We're just we're recording while I'm in Vancouver. Yeah. So Sarah, any last words of wisdom you'd like to share to the audience? If anybody's on the fence, know that you're worth the time, the energy, the money to really dive into this part of their life if the help is required, and it's life-changing. Yeah. And we really, really work hard as coaches to
to show up for our members and give them what they need to move forward on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd say to people, I want to use the word, if you're ready to do it right. But I don't think no one's ever ready to do it properly.
No.
Like you have to learn to start when it's messy, because that's one of the lessons you have to learn.
Yep.
When you want sustainable transformation, is it's going to be messy sometimes, and you have to do it regardless. So if it is a desire of yours to want to fix this problem, then the simplest way to do that, again, if you want to have a chance to work with Coach Sarah, our team, there's just a link down below. You have to book your free consultation call. The reason we do that is because we have to filter people that come into the program, and we want to make sure we can help them. Because some people, sometimes they just need to go see a doctor. They're not ready to do this, right? So I invite, for those of you that want to solve that problem, to head down below and book that free consultation call. And if you want to work with Coach Sarah, just request Coach Sarah and we'll put you with her. But Sarah, thank you for jumping on the podcast.
Thank you. It's been great.
Yeah. And so everyone, we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.